to you live on this edition of Algo Factory with the main professor himself, the one and only Cowboy. And listen, if you're sitting on the sidelines, you're wondering, what am I even doing here? Why am I even listening to these guys? Well, I'll tell you why you need to be here and why you need to listen to these guys. The largest transfer of wealth in human history is about to take place. Do you want to get paid? Do you want to get paid? And how do you think that material or that money is going to move? It's going to move through what? Markets. Money moves through markets. Whether right before a crash or right before a boom, there's money moving in and out. You could be one of those exit doors through which money moves in and out. And in order for you to do that, you need to understand what the markets are doing. And that's why AlgoFactory.tech is the most unique opportunity you will ever have. So don't waste any more time. Listen to the show and sign up. Sign up and be part of the private community of traders that are growing organically and effectively in becoming absolute monsters that are ready to carve profits from the market. And with that being said, Cowboy, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do that. Let me see here. So the usual spiel, right? The usual thing that we explain, especially if you're like brand new to this channel. I know that people have actually been kind of spreading this around a little bit on Twitter. So it looks like some of the shows that we've been doing have been beneficial. This is the beginner live lab. So what we do here every day, every weekday, that is not a federal holiday, from 8:30 a.m. EST until 9 is we answer questions from new traders. So over at Algo Factory, we do help new traders. We help them to develop their ability to trade. We start from scratch. We have actually beginner courses over at www.algofactory.tech, which you see on the screen. You can also go ahead and click that QR code or zap it, as it were, and it'll take you over to the website. We're extremely inexpensive. We're worth at least 6 times what we're charging based on the competition, and we offer more than the competition does. So basically, we will start you from scratch, help you become a trader. We do not give investment advice. You got to go talk to a licensed investment advisor for that, because, of course, risking your money in the markets, it's a risky thing to do. You can lose your money. But what we do is we teach the nuts and bolts of the market. We also teach how to build algorithms. So what I mean by that is anybody who's trading successfully doesn't mean that they have like an algorithm that they've coded. They're not necessarily using a trading bot. We can take you down the path of building a trading bot. That's actually what we do. But before you get there, what you'll probably, almost 100% will have to do is to build a trading method before you turn it into a bot. And then, of course, what we can do is help you transition into that, that kind of automated trading bot scenario. But in the meantime, this is not a get rich quick. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And we are here for you. And we have a history of working with people, teaching them how to trade. We've had other businesses doing this since 2018. We started early 2018 with this. So this is the new iteration, and we hope that you can come join us. Those who do at the current price will be able to keep that current price as we raise their current price. So it's like $49.99. We might put it to maybe $99.99. I don't know what it's going to be. But those who start with us while we're still young, give us your trust, give us your time, and we will help you obtain the skills that you need to take advantage of the wealth transfer that V keeps talking about. Because we are in very different times right now. Look what happened in 2020 and 2021. Look what happened to so many brick and mortar businesses. Now we're moving into a sort of an economy where all of the jobs are going to be at these big corporate scenarios where you're going to be not working for yourself, but working for other people. And it is in the interest, at least, it is perceived by certain very powerful people that it is in their interest for you not to be a business owner. So it's more kind of, in an interest that you are working for them. And it's a rent-seeking behavior, and we're seeing more and more of that as time goes on. People losing their jobs, now they go work for Amazon. People losing their jobs, they go work for whatever, Apple, Google, whatever you might, Fortune 100 company that has a big, huge, the government's the biggest employer. A lot of people go work for the government. And the moment that you do that, it's not that it's, I don't want to put that down, because there's a lot of really good jobs in those spaces. I'm not putting it down. but you're not going to be able to control your income or your schedule. So, if you want to control your income to a greater degree, you want to control your schedule, you have to open a business. And 2020, 2021, a lot of people lost their businesses. Brick and mortars got shut down. It was outside of the control. Many feel that shutdown was not necessary. Whether you feel that way or not is up to you. But the reality is that even whether or not you felt that was necessary, this business that I'm talking about was unaffected. In fact, a lot of people who were in the trading and the algo kind of world, whether it's simple trading like people have been doing forever, or whether you're starting to get kind of in the more high-tech era of algo building, if you will, anybody in that group did really well during the pandemic. The average person certainly did. And a lot of people were taking their stimmy checks and, putting it in the market. And people made a lot of money. You hear all these things with like GameStop and AMC, and that's just a product of what happens as we move into this supposed digital economy, this work at home model that, they're trying to kind of push. So at any rate, this right here is an opportunity where, V and I have been doing this. Oh shoot. V, how long you been in finance? 20 years?
Almost. I've been in this. Yeah. Holy shit. 2003. Wow.
Yeah 2003.
Years. Wow.
I've been trading since 2010, but really actively trading like this kind of trading since probably 2019, 2018. So, either way, you're looking at a combined, realistically, 30 years of experience, maybe more. So, we're able to take you down the path, help you avoid the pitfalls. And the reality is if you are interested in trading and you want to get in and build this in a smart, conservative, let's just say not necessarily conservative, but a balanced risk manner, we can tell you how we did it. And then you can follow that or not. Look, 90% of traders, especially in like Forex, cryptocurrency, 90% of traders lose 90% of their money in the first 90 days. Okay. Now, the reason they do that is because, and this is right on our website, I wrote this personally. The reason that this happens is because they're using the same tools as everybody else and they're not getting any kind of guidance. Okay. So our whole credo is to set you apart as a trader from that 90%. Help you customize your tools, right? Because if you're using the same tools as everybody else, you're going to have the same result as everybody else. Okay, so everybody else doesn't get paid. It's a very small percentage of traders who actually get paid in retail. And if you're looking at us, there's a decent chance you're in retail. Retail is just a word for the kind of the everyday person. Jamie Dimon is not retail. You and me are retail. Even like traders with like $2 million accounts, they're still retail. They just happen to, they tend to be retail. Long story short, we have an amazing opportunity and we do this free content for beginners Monday through Friday. So we encourage you, if you're watching this, and this is maybe like a you're watching a recording, you're not live, come join us. Ask us questions. We're here. And we're relatively small. We plan to have thousands of members. We haven't even marketed yet, outside of just like putting stuff up on YouTube and kind of, we slow rolled this so we could actually refine everything before we actually, really, really reached out. And at this point, you can, we have time to talk to you. Like if we have like 1,000 people, might not be as easy to get to every question, and we're well on the way to 1,000, but we still have time. So please come ask us questions. If you want to see a chart, we can do a chart for you. If you want to know how this and that and the other works, we can answer that. If it's as simple as, hey, how do I start getting into trading, or, things like that. One of the things that people have, there's a couple of things coming up that you're going to want to know about that we think are coming. Okay. There's actually a number of things, but one of them is we think, and V, you can weigh in on this, but look, Bitcoin has a 4-year cycle where, all the rest of the cryptocurrencies follow Bitcoin. When Bitcoin does well, then the rest of the cryptocurrencies kind of follow along. It's always been that way since crypto has been around since 2010, and it's going to continue to be that way as far as we know. All right, so that's just our estimation. And we've been estimating that way, I personally, since 2017, and that has been very profitable. So next year is the halving. And typically, and I can even show you on a chart, typically Bitcoin moves up in a halving year, and then it tops out the following year, or at least it tops out that year. And then the following, like early part of that next year, is when a lot of the altcoins are doing really well. And then the following year is when Bitcoin slopes off. So I'm going to chart that for everybody. Now, what you want to pay attention to, and V, please chime in on that. If you know, is there anything that you see that either agrees or disagrees with that sentiment?
No, it's the same patterns over and over again. And oftentimes, what really predicts future behavior of a particular stock or a particular asset is the past performances sometimes, right? In this case, with every halving, Bitcoin has performed the same. So, you know, it's easy to deduce, or it'll be common sense and it'll be completely accepted to deduce that it will follow that same trend going forward for this next upcoming halving.
And I'm going to actually chart that out. I'm just preparing the chart before I put it on the screen. So let's see here. I'm using what's called the Brave Liquid Index. And as I bring this up, the Brave Liquid Index is something that is tracking Bitcoin back to its inception and its price model. So now, because Bitcoin every 4 years has really undergone a paradigm shift, if you will, the increase in Bitcoin has been kind of geometric in a way. And I don't know, there's some technical aspects that I'm not going to delve into, but let's just say that, you know, each increase is quite a bit more from a numerical standpoint, but then that, you know, that's the long-term trend is that numerical expansion may decrease. Who knows? I mean, it might also be that we haven't really seen the true adoption yet. It's just more speculative, and when it does get adopted, it could just get unimaginably large. As a matter of fact, you have RFK Jr. that wants to back the U.S. currency with Bitcoin. So, you know, that would be interesting. I'd love to see him pull it off. But you're looking at right now at kind of a standard chart, and I'm going to change it to logarithmic. Okay, so standard chart. If you look at this on the right, this 20, 24,000, 30,000, 32, 36, 40. Those numbers are evenly spaced. Do you see that? It's every $4,000 is evenly spaced. But what that doesn't allow you to see is like how early on the percent gains were massive. And each time for the halving cycle, those percent gains, you know, those actually, believe it or not, they decrease. But the overall picture is increasing so quickly. That's why you get, you know, 1 year the top is whatever, 1,500. The next halving year, the top is 19,000. Next is almost 70,000. So it's, you know, the numbers are getting massive. Let's see, Bitcoin halving. However, that growth is actually slowing down over time. But that could be a function of the fact that adoption really hasn't happened yet from a retail standpoint and from a transactional standpoint. So I'm going to pull out the halving. Countdown events. Okay, so, and the reason I mentioned this is because we have a halving coming up, and the halving tends to spark a big move. And if you have your trading game down by the time that the halving hits, then there is a lot of opportunity in crypto to make some really big profits. I mean, phenomenal profits, stuff that you can't find in the regular market. And that halving is coming around May of 2024. So we're really approaching that. So I'm going to switch this to a logarithmic chart, right? So what that does is that if you look on the far right at these numbers, you'll see that the space between 30 and 150 is stupid. That space is the same as the space between, okay, so like between 2 cents and 6 cents. If you go up to the top, it's the same between 14,000 and 38,000, right? So you're looking at like times 3, and then it's increasing exponentially. And what that does is it's kind of correcting for the paradigm shifts that have been going on and the exponential growth, and it allows you to see the amount of growth that happened in each cycle. Okay, so for example, the first halving occurred November 28th in 2012, and after that happened, price just kept heading up, right? And then there was a big drop off. Price made it all the way up to $1,200, and then it dropped down to $165. And then it made its way up to the second halving, which was in 2016. and it kept making its way up. And I actually became involved not too long after that. And it made its way up to what, 19,000, right? 19.5. And then it fell to 3,000. And then there was the halving. So it kind of hung out down low, and then it approached the halving, got a little bit higher, and then it took off like a rocket again, all the way up to $70,000, right? So it's now dropping, and we're now approaching the halving year. So if this pattern, as V the Grill was talking about, continues, and everybody in crypto pretty much thinks it does, then we could be seeing a move up to, I don't know. I mean, I have my next high set between 85,000 and 120,000, anywhere in there. That's where I have the next high set. But that's if nothing changes. That's if we don't have a major shift in the way that money is treated by, say, the end of 2025. And I think that next high is going to happen towards the end of 2024, because that tends to be it. The high tends to occur at the end of the halving year or the beginning of the next. So this one happened in the very beginning. This most recent high happened in the very beginning of quarter 2 after the halving year. So we could see the next high in like quarter 1 or quarter 2 of 2024. It's extremely possible. In fact, if you look at the past data, it's probable. So Valley Girl is asking a question in our private chat, saying, what about Bitcoin speed? It's always been too slow for a lot of things. Well, the Lightning Network took care of that. So Valley Girl, you got people in Costa Rica, El Salvador, and quite frankly around the world, and they're using what's called a layer 2 solution. You pretty much keep a lot of the security. You sacrifice a small amount of security, but what you do is you take, if you need to go shopping and spend $50 or $100 or whatever it is, you take $50 or $100 worth of Bitcoin. You take it out of your private wallet at home when you can wait the 10 or 5 or 20 minutes for the transaction to happen. And then by the time you go to the store, it's going to be like, say, 50, 100, 200 bucks, whatever your number is. And it's going to be sitting in an application on your phone that is on the Lightning Network, and that those transactions are virtually instantaneous. So that has been solved, and it's being used around the world. But people are buying pupusas for 50 cents or whatever it is in El Salvador using Bitcoin. So it's that is not a problem. And there are other currencies that may come into play. And as Bitcoin goes up, these other currencies do. And in fact, a lot of these altcoins are effectively a leveraged version of Bitcoin, because they tend to go up faster than Bitcoin and they tend to drop faster than Bitcoin. And when you're trading like we do, we make money on the way up, we make money on the way down. What we need is volatility. We need price to be moving. When price is not moving, there are ways to make money there as well. It's not like it has to be moving, but volatility is the bread and butter of traders. So we have a lot coming up in crypto. One of the other, and of course, so let me back up. We have a lot of volatility probably coming in crypto. And if you spend maybe a year or 6 months, whatever it is, getting ready for that event with Algo Factory, then you'll be able to have a much higher skill set to take advantage of that volatility as it occurs next year. I think we're in a really decent time for scooping up some altcoins that you do your own research, you figure out which ones you like, and you make sure that you understand the risks of buying and holding crypto. But if you do all your own research, you might be able to find some really good altcoins out there that are, in a position to really see some massive gains, like multiples of gains that happen before next year. But again, that's all speculation. We're not saying it's going to happen. There's just a high probability according to my own calculations. Do your own research on that. Of course, as that happens, the rest of the market's going to see volatility as well, because people are going to take profits out of cryptocurrency and they're going to put it elsewhere. So it will stir things up a bit. And also, V, I know you talked yesterday about the drips. I know Thursday is the day that you do the Intel drips on our private show, which this is not the private show. But I think this Thursday we had to kind of maybe hold it off till Friday or Monday or any. Do we get any details on when those drips are going to happen?
Yeah, it's going to happen Monday.
Okay, so just so you know, everybody out there in YouTube land, the Gorilla is connected very highly in the finance community. When you've been in the finance community for 20 years, you're just going to know people, especially if you've gone in there and slayed it. So basically what's going to happen here is that V has information it's not legally privileged. It's not illegal to talk about, but he's only able to talk about it to a small amount of people without kind of creating an issue. So in our private group only, mostly on Thursdays, whenever there is information to talk about, and it's not every week, but it's like at least like it tends to be 2 or 3 weeks a month, V the Gorilla comes in with some of the high level information inside baseball. Again, not legally privileged information, nothing illegal, but it's just very, very little known info that can really give you an edge on what's going on in the market, and quite frankly, what's going on in the world, because those things are connected. So Monday is when V the Gorilla is going to come out with, some of the deeper, heady info for the real heads out there. So if you are able to get with Algo Factory before Monday, you want to get a couple of days to give us a little time to process you in. In fact, I got to add somebody right now. Just added somebody to our channel, new customer. If you're interested in the drips, there is one Monday. If you sign up over the weekend, and I should be able to get you into the private group by Monday. So please, in fact, if you're really kind of wanting to make sure you're in, go ahead and sign up, and then you can go to the contact us, the website, and fire off an email. I'll see it myself, and I'll handle it personally. So it's going to be an exciting Monday, guarantee you that. And it's going to be an exciting month, and it's going to be an exciting year or 2 or 5. I mean, the next few years, in my estimation, and I think Gorilla, you're actually part of my research on that. It comes from you, honestly. But the next few years could see a lot of volatility, and one of the places where you can take advantage of it, and in my opinion, perhaps the best place to take advantage of it, it's just my opinion, is in the markets.
Yeah.
And Algo Factory, as far as I personally know, is going to help you learn how to take advantage of that in the most holistic manner. Not just teaching you how to build algorithms, but the indispensable practice of treating your trading like a business, and the indispensable information that comes with understanding and implementing trading psychology. Because I guarantee you, if you have the perfect algorithm, you can build it. It's the perfect, it rarely ever misses. But if you don't have your trading psychology down, and you don't have your understanding how to treat trading like a business, your operations, if you don't have those down, there's a high probability you will lose money. You lose your money. I don't care how good of a trader you are. You have to have those things down. And we do work with that kind of information. We have classes at our online university that is available to you 24/7. It's all there, algofactory.tech. Let me see here. I'll put, again, the website up, and then the QR code. I'll throw that up in a minute. But we are at the end of the free public show. Okay, so I'm going to ask the Gorilla, give us that Gorilla send-off, and then we're going to roll over to our private group.
Absolutely. Listen, guys, here's the deal. Listen, don't sit there and wait. I don't care if you suck at math. I don't care if you've never done trading. I don't care if you're intimidated. I don't care about any of that stuff. Give me 6 months of your life, and we guarantee you here on Algo Factory, it will be the best 6 months you've ever done. You'll be proficient. You'll be ready to take on the challenges that are ahead for you. We're going to teach you the tricks of the trade and give you some vital key intel on the global play-by-play and global market. So keep it locked and loaded. Scan that QR code and join us, or hit the link in the description box. That being said, Cowboy, let's hop over.
All right, let's do it.